Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Tuesday. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. This morning, Ama Misa has a birthday, and it's from the dad, Daniel Misa, and the mom as well, and also to Kayla Danso Ajiman. Best wishes for your exam. As you sit for your BEC, your mom says loves you. And to all BEC candidates as well, if you're writing, we pray that you will remember everything that you have studied so that in the final analysis you come out shining. I want to say thank you to Grandpa Clothing in Dansoman for my outfit this morning. We're grateful for life. This morning, we want to start with a quote. And it is from one of the great philosophers and wise men that ever lived. He is called Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane." The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. Marcus Aurelius said that. Now think deeply about this. And while you think about it, you may want to wrap your head around why we, who are contributors of SNIT, and also members of SNIT and owners of SNIT, are telling SNIT to keep their hands off the hotels, and they still are bent on going forward with it. Even when the regulator, the Pensions Regulatory Authority, has told them that they should halt everything, they still are determined to go forward. Now, the object is not to be with the majority, but to escape finding yourself in the ranks of the insane. That's what Marcus Aurelius said. When everybody says this is not good, particularly when CLOSAG goes on strike and labor unions say we will go onto the street, then you want to ask yourself what the real motive is behind this whole thing. And somebody said yesterday to me that it could be a furtherance of the Ejapadie document that was once seen. Because already we have seen how in the Ejapadie document, the leadership at SNIT was to change. We have seen how a deputy director general resigned, in protest for what was going on. We have seen how the former director general, I'm told, left because he didn't want to have a hand in the sale of these hotels. So it tells you that if everybody is saying labor unions, everybody says, keep your hands off it. And yet the SNIT says, we will go ahead with it. It gives you a certain indication that something is going on. And something going on is moving very, very fast. Why the hurry? I mean, if Mr. Brian Champon feels okay that his Rock City can manage the hotels better than the state is managing them, he's still a member of government. Why doesn't the president then appoint him as minister in charge of state hotels? It will be a nice position, because as for this government, every least opportunity, a new position is created, a new portfolio. So Minister of Hotel Management, then he manages the hotels for us, because he keeps insisting that he is qualified so to do. And you have had big people support him. The owners of the hotel, the people of Ghana who are members of SNIT and contributors of SNIT, in whose interest those hotels have been built and that those investments have been made for dividends to accrue so that they can all benefit from it in the near future when their pension is due, say, keep your hands off the hotels. How many times more must it be said? There's something in there. There is something in there. Now, yesterday, I saw something quite interesting. in the Setra Afram Plains in the Ashanti region, they didn't want to delay the start of the BEC examinations. And so the papers were dropped via drone. And I thought that was innovative, very, very innovative. So kudos to the government, because this is an initiative of the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo-led government. And if this is happening, it's Dr. Digital, okay. Dr. Baumia, okay. So this is also, I'm told, but do we give a credit to the mate or the driver? Okay. So it's to the driver and then some to the mate. Okay. So kudos to the government. The exam papers were dropped via drone to Setre, Afram Plains in the Ashanti region. I like how the people gathered to come and watch how it's just like how when we're young, you gather to watch things. Yeah. So kudos to the government. Kudos indeed to the government. Now, yesterday, I started a conversation about HEFRA, Health Facilities Regulatory Authority. And if you're a regulator, you must do things in such a way that the standards that you seek to hold others to are not something that you fall short of. If you're a regulator, you must ensure that the standards that you hold others to in your regulatory duty, you do not fall short to those ones. Yesterday, I told you that the registrar of HEFRA is supposed to be on leave prior to his retirement. But good information I have is that Dr. Bano is still at post. Why has he not taken the leave prior to retirement, as is done everywhere, as is best practice, as is the standard? Why? And I had to read that memo on air because I don't want us having another Dr. Bonaventure Benedict Allegibam on our hands. He doesn't respect the Minister of Agric. He doesn't respect the President who sent the Minister. He doesn't respect the Chief of Staff. He doesn't respect union members. He doesn't respect the Water Users Association. He doesn't respect Farmer Group. He doesn't respect the whole staff. He's just doing everything. He doesn't respect Regional Minister. They are all afraid of one man. But I told you last Tuesday, he went to SNIT at Bolga to go and chase his pension. He will go there again very soon. When he goes there, I'll tell you. And when he goes there, so he knows that he's doing the wrong thing, but he's still doing it. Now the farmers are threatening that they will work with him again. Maybe that is what will make him go, because the chop of the farmers' money is too much. So yesterday I read this letter to you, Dr. Philip Abebi Obano. He's a registrar. He's supposed to retire on the 17th of July, 2024. He was born on 17th July, 1964. Now he's supposed to have gone on 18 days, effective from 24 June. So from 24 June, he's supposed to have been at home. But my good information says that he's still there. Doing what? I don't know. Now, I told you that I'll show you how some people got salaries from HEFRA without necessarily going to work. I'll tell you. And I'll show you how during the COVID and post-COVID era, they had a 1 week rotational schedule. And some of the people I'm going to show you actually did not even turn up when it was time for them to turn up for their week. So in a month, they had 2 weeks schedule. And then the other 2 weeks, they took off. And then even the 2 weeks that they were supposed to report to work, sometimes they come 2 days, sometimes 3 days. They take the rest of the days of the week off, and then they still get there. Some don't even turn up at all. I'm told that under Dr. Bano, the Kumasi office, for example, and I'll read that to you, had the lights shut out. The lights were shut. They have no standard. Look, this is dated the 18th of November, 2022. It's to the registrar, HEFRA, that's to Dr. Bano. Petition to the registrar. We, the undersigned, on this petition are all permanent staff of the agency in the Ashanti region, Kumasi office. Sir, for the past 3 weeks, the Ashanti Regional Office of the agency at Idum, Kumasi, is without electricity, and it is making life more unbearable. We have all witnessed the effort of the regional coordinator to keep the office functioning at all administrative levels from his private resources, which should not be the case. We are also aware that the monthly retention that is sent to the region has that of April 2022 to date pending. And they wrote this in November. So April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. This has resulted in so many challenges like sanitation, hygiene, water, electricity repairs, just to mention but a few. Meanwhile, the account office has confirmed the monthly revenue generated from the region to the head office from January 2022 to date, the 21st of November 2022. We are, by this petition, demanding that the office of the agency in the region be supported to function as is required by law. We are also, and most importantly, demanding that funds should be sent to the region to fix the electricity challenges immediately. Let's see the next page. And we may be forced to embark on a sit-down strike to protest against the investment, all of those ones. And then the letters come, the names come. Benjamin, Nyamiche, all of them, they all signed. And it's copied to the Director of Operations, Hefra Accra, Director of Administration, and the Board Chairman, Hefra. Show me another memo of people who have taken salaries or took salaries, and these are 2022 documents I'm showing you. So you can't go and cover it up because it's there. These are 2022, right? Now, this is dated the 2nd of June, 2022. Mr. Paul Jan, Hefra Ashanti Region, staff number is there. I know, but we'll keep it off. He says, query, letter for your absenteeism. Subsequent to my several engagements with you on the subject above, the letter is to serve as the last warning to you for your perpetual absence on duty without any reason and or official excuse from the agency to do so. You are required to put in a written response to this warning letter within 5 working days from the 6th of June 2022, explaining why you should not be sanctioned by the agency. Please take note that the required sanctions shall be applied if your written response doesn't reach my office on or before the deadline. Sincerely, your Sedu Rashid Inusa, Regional Coordinator Hefra, There's another one. I'm just going to be playing back to you. This one is also addressed to Mr. Clemenyako. It says, sequel to my several engagements with you on your absence from the office for 2 months consecutively, this letter is to serve as the last warning to you for your recalcitrant absenteeism without any reason or an official excuse from the agency to do so. You are required to put in a written response to this warning letter within 5 working days from today, Friday, the 9th of July 2021, explaining why you should not be sanctioned by the agency for the absence. Please take note that the required sanctions shall be applied if your written response doesn't reach my office on or before the date stated in this letter. Sincerely yours, Rashid Inusa. Signed again. Show me another one. Now, this is the 30th of November, right? 2020, I can't see the date. Mr. Gabriel Kwesi Day. Now, it says, query letter for your perpetual absenteeism. Subsequent to my several engagements with you on the subject above, this letter is to serve as the last warning to you for your perpetual absence on duty without recourse to your engagement with the agency. You are required to put in your written response to this letter explaining why you should not be sanctioned by the agency. Please take note that any repeat of this behavior will lead to the full application of the sanctions thereof. That's another one. Now, there's an advice on the action that must be taken. And this is to the Regional Director, Controller Accountant General, Ashanti Region Kumasi. And it says that advice on action to staff who do not come to office for more than 2 months. I write to seek your advice on action one can take on staff that is engaged by the government of Ghana who draw salary every month but do not come to work. As a regional director, I wrote to the registrar CEO of the agency after several engagements with him verbally on this to try and get these staff to come to work and has failed. But he seems not interested in the issue. I believe that public service will have a cure for this, but your agency, as the one who pays these staff on behalf of the government of Ghana, must be in the know. Kindly advise on the available actions can be employed. Actions can be employed to stop this immediately, since the government of Ghana is not getting value for money being paid to these staff. I'm counting on your cooperation. Thank you, sincerely. Dated the 27th of January 2022, was received then, 10:30 a.m. So clearly, the manager, out of frustration, wrote and asked the Controller Accountant General. Of course, advice was given. I'll share that with you later. But then the question is, why should people be employed? They do not go to work, but they were paid. And I'll show you the attendance sheet of HEFRA tomorrow, God willing. I'll show you. And I'll show you some other documents. And then you ask how Dr. Bano answered in these things and acted in these matters. Because I said from the beginning that HEFRA is supposed to maintain, if you're a health facility and you do not meet a certain standard, they walk in there and crack the whip. How is it that staff of HEFRA, being managed by Dr. Bano, were so recalcitrant in this nature? And there's so many of the memos, people who have sent themselves 2 months, 6 months, 5 months, 3 months, they don't come to work at all, but they collect salaries. They don't come to work at all, they collect salaries. The question that you ask is, how did they become staff of HEFRA? Are they party people? I don't know. Were they brought in through party lines? I don't know. Did they come through the party channel? I don't know. And I will show you a list of people who have never stepped foot at HEFRA before, but have also collected salaries, your tax. And then you have people who are qualified, who are sitting at home, and they are told that the payroll is choked. I showed you an example at Gihok. I will show you an example at HEFRA. I think that the state institutions that we have must give us value for money. The state institutions that we have, they must give us value for money. So people have jobs and they do not turn up for the jobs, but they expect to get paid their salaries. Now, take me to those who are unemployed, who are crying and clamoring for jobs. And I saw a text message from a certain Dr. So-so-and-so to Mr. So-so-and-so saying that, oh, there are job opportunities, but they should look out for NAPCO people and then try and give them job opportunities before the elections. NAPCO people, open your eyes. They are coming again with another scheme. By all means, take the job. By all means, when the job is given to you, after you being owed 7 to 9 months of your arrears, take the job. And that 6-2 will say, shine your eye. Take the job, but shine your eye. If the jobs were available and your monies were available, you wouldn't have been kept hungry for 9 months without any explanation. Now, when the campaign platforms are mounted, nobody even mentions you as an achievement. How are you even recruiting people 4 months to a major election? 4 months, 5 months until your tenure is over, you are now going to pile on the pressure on the next administration, whether it is Dr. Baumia, John Mahama, Jacob Caesar, whoever it is, Alan Chamanti, you are going to pile pressure on them. So what were you doing in the 7 to 8 years? This is dated the 8th of July 2024. It's a press release from the Coalition of Unemployed University and Diploma Graduates Teachers. Kudgrat. Sounds more like Kukrudu. We, the undersigned graduates from the various universities in the country, are writing to express our deep concern and frustration regarding the recent recruitment exercise carried out by the Ghana Education Service, which excluded university graduates and diploma holders. The exercise, which focused solely on 2022 graduates from public colleges of education, is not only unfair, but also biased and discriminatory against graduate students from the various universities in the country. In fact, the action is also against the principles of quality and fairness as enshrined in our national constitution. As university graduates and diploma holders, we have undergone various academic training and successfully passed our licentiate exams. We believe that we are more than qualified to serve as teachers in our educational system. However, the decision to exclude us from the recruitment process is not only unjust, but also a violation of our rights as citizens. Article 25(1) of the Constitution of Ghana guarantees every citizen the right to equal access to opportunities in the public sectors. By denying university graduates the chance to be posted as teachers, GES is denying us our constitutional rights and perpetuating a system of inequality and discrimination. We demand that immediate action must be taken to rectify this injustice done to university students and ensure that university graduates and diploma holders are given equal opportunities for employment in the public sector. This action could mean that the government, through GES, does not regard university education in the country. We are very much aware of the discriminatory nature of our educational system, a situation where colleagues in the various colleges of education are giving allowance while university students are left to either finance their own education or apply for student loan at high compound interest rate. We are, by this petition, calling on the government through GES to, as a matter of urgency, make provisions and recruit graduate teachers who successfully pass their licentiate exams. Failure to do so will result in mass demonstrations and protests against the government and Ghana Education Service, as well as Ministry of Education, as well as we will not stand aloof for our rights to be trampled upon. We also want to remind the government to know that we are in a period where the citizens are going to decide who should lead us in the upcoming general elections, which is just around the corner. The government should be reminded and do what is just right. The second page says, we urge you, government, to take swift and decisive action to address this issue and uphold the principles of equality and fairness that our Constitution stands for. This time, the time for action is now, and we will not rest until justice is served. Felix Dagba signed that. A lot of people, if you like, the phone numbers are there. Screenshot it and call them. I didn't put this up there. Now they are baring their teeth. Teacher trainees are suffering. Nursing trainees are suffering. They are now asking for jobs. And you know, some of them still are lost as to why they would go to school, do teaching practice, do all their national service and everything, finish and come and write licentiate exams. So they go through about 4 different layers. And then when they finish, you ask them to go and sit at home. And then when we talk about it, they say, oh, we have given employment to some people. Now they say, yes, you have given employment. We clap for you. But we have been excluded. Why? And we know that we bring you reports on this network, 3FM, TV3, and all our platforms. We bring you that there are shortages of teachers elsewhere. So if they are at home, why can't we employ them? All those amorphous positions and roles that we create, how much is a teacher's salary? Sometimes we pay somebody 15,000 and the only thing they do is they're on social media insulting and fighting everybody. When you ask them of their job description, they do not know. That 15,000 could have paid 3, 4, maybe 5 teachers. Apologies to the teachers. But he could have paid them. So, which is better? Those who will train the next generation for us so that they don't become hollow, or those who will insult so that they become a bad example on social media for children? Which is better? Or we are just interested in creating jobs for party people? We complained about this in the past too. We complained about this in the past. Former President Rawlings called some of them babies with sharp teeth. We bought that idea and ran with it. And then we told the people that we are bringing them change. Is this the change? I always ask that question. And those who are smart and wise enough, they always come back to say, we have not done right by you. And if you want to know the real, what do you call it? The real sharp ones, go back to when the MPP had its presidential primaries. Listen to Alan Kojo Tremanting. Listen to Engineer Kwabena JJ Pong. Listen to Engineer Dynamo. Listen to Kojo Poku. Listen to Jogati. Listen to, I've forgotten the names. But listen to them, Kennedy Japan. Listen to them. And you will see the real terminal report of the government of which they themselves are part of. Engineer Kwabena JJ Pong said the Ghana Beyond Aid left the Jubilee House with a lot of energy and enthusiasm, I'm paraphrasing, and came back on a stretcher. That is the real-time scorecard and terminal report. Now, you see, they have gotten to the point where the unemployed teachers, they are now threatening. They are using the election to blackmail you. They are threatening you, literally. Because you told them that when you come, because of the policies that you would have instituted, John Boydu said it, he's the boss of SIGA now. Because of the policies, we will get to a point where we'll have to import labor into this country to do the work. Now that our labor is running away. They are running away. And it's not just non-entities running away. Professionals are leaving the country. So who will stay back to build? Why do we do this to our people? And you still have a chair in a V8. The fuel for that car, the maintenance for that car, how much we pay that driver, and the labor we have and pay for to carry that chair in and out of the V8 for the full 365 years, I bet can employ about 20 teachers. But we decide to waste it because we see the presidency as a monarchy and a dynasty more than the democracy that we're supposed to be enjoying. When you say it, they say don't say it. But they know that what is happening is wrong. They know very well that what is happening is wrong. But they will say, do not say it. And if you say it, they say you do not like some people. But I'm not here to like people. That's why I gave you that Marcus Aurelius quote, that the object is not to be with the majority, is to avoid getting into the ranks of insanity. So the majority could be saying their things. But if what you are saying doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. Finished. Good morning. Please call me 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0.